In Wolverine and Gambit, Victims Part 2, 5 women in London have been brutally murdered. In 24 hours, Gambit has assaulted the inspector of the case and tracked down the primary suspect. And Gambit is surprised to find it's his fellow X-Men, Wolverine. But as Wolverine and Gambit are surrounded by an anti-terrorist organization, they get some much-needed backup in the form of a mysterious lady that claims to be working for Nick Fury. The woman introduces herself as Martinique, and she helps the boys get a ride out of there while providing some much needed firepower. But unfortunately, the CID is still on that ass. Gambit leans out the window, throwing hella cards, immobilizing their vehicles. But as the group is getting chased through the Piccadilly Square, Gambit tells them they can drop him off at the corner, but Wolverine tells the Cajun he's not going anywhere. As the situation is getting dire, Wolverine floors it, and in a desperate move to get away from the anti-terrorist organization, he drives the car directly into the water. Now, some of the cops tell the inspector nobody could survive that, but the inspector is not convinced, and he orders the cops to mobilize boats and comb the water till they find a car or a body. As Wolverine and Gambit regroup in the sewer, Martinique lays in a pool of her own blood. Gambit pushes Wolverine against the wall, asking him why'd he do it. See, lately, Wolverine's bestial nature has been coming back, and thus Wolverine is susceptible to rage he cannot control, much to his comrades' dismay. But Wolverine tells Gambit to cool it as something's messing with his senses. Wolverine says he can hear water about 30 feet down. So Gambit blows a hole in the floor and the two descend to try and find a way out. But as they descend, the current is really strong. Gambit almost gets incapacitated, but Wolverine grabs him, promising not to let it end in a London sewer. As Wolverine finally pulls Gambit out of the water, they continue to make their way through this labyrinth. But somehow the two X-Men end up right back where they started, and much to their dismay, the body of Martinique has disappeared. But Martinique reappears, alive and well, with a gun in hand. In an instant, Wolverine is on top of her, slashing her in the throat, almost seemingly losing it. As Gambit yells for Wolverine to stop, as it turns out, this bitch was a robot. As Gambit and Wolverine try to figure out what the fuck is going on, a mysterious figure watches in the distance. As it turns out, this is all the doing of Arcade. And Arcade informs Martinique that Wolverine has killed her once again, as Martinique comes out the shadows, having taken up her deceased father's mantle as the new mastermind. To be continued.